Hi, I'm Kerry Sudif, I run FAR, and I'm here with Scott Hawker, second place at North Face 100 in Australia. Congratulations.
Cool, thanks, man.
Outstanding time, 8:56, well under course record.
Yeah.
An incredible battle for you. Tell me a little bit about your race.
Yeah, I think yesterday was just all about trying to enjoy it as much as I can. I was trying to think back to previous races, what I've done in other races that went well, and why last year was okay, but nothing sort of seemed to really click. And I sort of came to the conclusion that when I'm smiling and having fun and running, I'm generally running pretty well. My form seems to be better. I'm sort of doing things how I probably should be doing them. So I sort of trying to transfer that to the North Face and just try not to get too carried away with the hype of the event and all the international guys that were running. So that was the kind of main focus, is just to sort of play it smart, have fun with it early on, and then the later stages of the race, do what needs to be done, sort of thing. So
yeah, now you're a resident out here at Katoomba, so we want to clear this up because it's one of those discussion points. Australians are trying to claim you,
yeah,
like they've tried to claim Pavlova, but as we know, you're a Kiwi through and through.
Yeah.
You're from Christchurch. Is that where you call home?
Yeah, definitely. Whenever I'm booking flights back to New Zealand, I'm telling friends over here I'm going back home. And as much as I love living in Australia, Australia is an amazing place. It's been fantastic to me over the last 4 years, and it will be for a little while yet. Yeah, definitely a Kiwi, and I think Mum and Dad wouldn't have that any other way, obviously. So, definitely a Kiwi, but yeah, loving living in Australia at the moment. So
yeah, it's quite different out here. There's a million hectares of bush out here that'll kill you given the opportunity, and whereas it's entirely different at home. I mean, you can pick up a lizard and lick it and put it back down, and you're not going to die.
Yeah.
Drink the lakes, do anything you want.
Yeah.
So how's it different being out here and training?
Yeah, I'll be honest. We used to live in Perth up until about a month ago, and the first few runs I did out there, I was just, anything that moved or made sound, I was just running sub 4 minute Ks, because I was thinking, like, is something trying to kill me? Because basically everything in this country, like you said, man, it either bites, it either stings, and some of it's just plain evil, So you're definitely keeping an eye on it. And I think the more you run out here, the more you realise that the snakes aren't all, this fat, and they've got big fangs and everything. So you kind of realise they are there, and you do need to be wary of it. But it's kind of just running as usual, I guess. But you do just have to take a few kind of precautions that you're back home in New Zealand. You kind of just chuck on your shoes. You don't need to take water because you can drink from the streams and everything like that. So it's different, and but yeah, still just an awesome experience running here in Australia. And yeah, being here for 4 weeks, just recently up until now, has just been amazing. Just new terrain to go on and play on and see parts of the course, and it's just been fantastic, really. So
yeah, it certainly worked out well for your training and the specificity getting ready for this race, and incredible execution. So many people keep saying your name with the phrase "run of a lifetime." It certainly was just a standout performance for you yesterday. Tell me a little bit about your run and how it unfolded.
Yeah, so like you said, man, I've the last sort of 4 weeks. Every single run has been on this course. My recovery runs, my hill repeat sessions, my tempo runs, my long runs. So just everything has been really focused about this race. And I think being kind of the biggest race in Australia, it's kind of like, if you're going to do well in a race in Australia, why not make it the North Face 100? So it was just a major focus. I mean, you can see Mount Solitary out there. That run itself, that loop is out of control. It is just an amazing loop. But I've sort of been saying to myself, no, just hold back. You can go and run that in 4 weeks' time. At the moment, it's just focus on North Face and do what you need to do. And so I think my race plan was always to just have fun, enjoy myself to the hospital, Queen Victoria Hospital, at around 78k. And from there, I know that back half of the course so well now. I've run that probably at least half a dozen times, and so it's getting to the point now where I'm knowing which side of the trail to be on when I'm going down, because it's a slightly smoother ride, and then going up the climb up Sublime Point, I'm knowing roughly when the peaks of those little climbs are. It sort of goes up and down again. So yeah, that course knowledge is just invaluable, So definitely when I was sort of in the, last sort of stages of the race, and, sort of knowing what I needed to do and knowing where I was on the course, was just, yes, invaluable, really. So, and that was where I kind of made a bit of a move and caught the 2 Chinese guys that were ahead of me.
Yun and Yan?
Yeah, Yun and Yan, and those guys were just so strong. I was actually in 3rd place at the hospital and I left there. And then halfway down, Jung, who ended up getting 3rd place, I was moving going down Kadumba, and he flew past me like I was barely moving. And I looked on my stats, and I was running about 4:10 average down there, so he was easily running sub 4 minute Ks. And so yeah, I sort of but because I knew the course, I thought, no, let him go. You can hopefully make the time up on the climb. And then yeah, luckily enough, halfway up that climb, I pulled him in, and then sort of a bit further along caught Yan, Long Fei Yan. Yeah, not too much further on, so it was panned out quite well in the end, really. So
yeah, no one knew who was going to come over that hill the whole time. People are talking about whether Debo could hold him out, and then you came through in 2nd place. crowd's pretty excited about it because you're the hometown guy. So that is a really good result. But of course, there is this other thing that happens in the race. Earlier in the race, there was some confusion about how some of the guys might have missed some of the course, and I'd like to probably just have your thoughts on that and maybe put that to bed. Tell us a little bit about what happened and what you think, whether it's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it was just really unfortunate, John O'Loughlin, Aussie local hero, absolute mad bugger. He was making a surge going along, doing sort of towards the out and back along Lion Pot Ridge, and I think he was probably roughly sort of 10 seconds ahead of, I think it was Dylan, Francois, Longfei Yan, and Julien Choria. Yeah, so those four guys. And so basically Jono had kind of like gotten to the track junction where you start the out and back. Jono had hung left, local knowledge, knows where he's going, obviously. And from what I hear, the volunteer or the track marshal at that point wasn't exactly at that junction. She was sort of about 10 metres just sort of up high, perched up on the rock. So when the four international guys came through, they sort of got to that point and sort of glancing around, and Dylan mentioned that he just sort of glanced right and saw some pink flagging tape. So naturally you're going to follow the pink flagging tape. So yeah, so those guys went down there, and then during the out and back section, running back towards me was Jono, and I thought, holy, like, far out, Jono's in the lead, like, how cool is this? And then all of a sudden I'm going out, and then I get to the out and back, and then I don't see the other four guys, and so I'm thinking, were they ahead of Jono and just running so much quicker and had done the out and back and gone down before it even got to the out and back? And I thought, yeah, it's probably fair enough, you're talking about those international superstars, and I thought, yeah, it's probably possible. And then, yeah, so I got back down, and then I ended up catching up to Jono on the descent, and then, yeah, Jono sort of mentioned that those guys had gone off course, and it's just really unfortunate. Like, none of those guys were meaning to do that. It was just purely just an accident. And I mean, at the end of the day, they got to the checkpoint. They spoke with the race directors, Tom and Alina, and Tom and Alina made a decision about a time penalty. The four guys, took it on the chin to their credit and waited at the aid station. So I came in there and basically was told that, yeah, those guys had the penalty, and I was now winning the North Face 100. So yeah, goosebumps came in pretty quickly. I was sort of pretty excited and thinking, like, yeah, this is starting to get, pretty real, like I'm at the pointy end of the North Face 100. Still pinching myself that I was even running remotely close to these guys. And yeah, so first place, and I sort of had in the back of my mind, I knew those guys were going to be pretty motivated once that 15 minutes was up. And yeah, I sort of just decided to consolidate a wee bit between that checkpoint and the bottom of the Nelly's Glen climb. I didn't want to sort of make a surge or try and make more time up or anything, just sort of let it play out naturally as I could. And yeah, not long after the Aquatic Centre checkpoint at about 57k, those guys caught me, and yeah, we ran together for a while, and yeah, and I mean, so it was what it was, and at the end of the day, Dylan ran a phenomenal race. Like, I felt I ran pretty good in that last section from the hospital down Kadumba and then up the climb Sublime Point, and to know how well I felt I ran that. Dylan must have been flying going down there, and full credit to him, like, he totally deserved the win. He ran the quickest time, and he was first across the line. So yeah, regardless of what happened, like, Dylan, just, kudos to him. He had a phenomenal run, and I'm just, yeah, over the moon to grab second place behind someone like Dylan, and also to sort of, in a field as deep as what it was, I'm just, yeah, really happy with sort of how things panned out. So.
Yeah, fastest Kiwi in a top 10.
Yeah.
Loaded with Kiwis.
Yeah.
Australia's just snuck one in there at 10th place.
It.
But
yeah.
I don't know, maybe we could bring Jono over later
yeah,
and
exactly.
show him around Tarawera.
Yeah, that's it.
So on top of this outstanding result, the future's looking pretty bright. Everyone will want to know what's next. Where are you going to go?
Yeah, so at the moment I'm heading back to the Lavaredo Ultra Trail, which starts in Cortina, which is about 2 hours north of Venice. So I'll be doing Lavaredo. That's at the end of June. It's actually the same weekend as Western States, so the 26th. And then after that, it's looking like at the moment like I'll be going back to give UTMB another crack. Sort of raced last year. It was my first 100 mile at UTMB last year. So yeah, it didn't go to plan at all. It was a real battle, and I learned a lot about myself that I didn't know beforehand. So yeah, hopefully, yeah, UTMB is kind of the pinnacle for the year, and everything's kind of building towards that at the moment. So this was fantastic, and yeah, sort of given me a heap of confidence, obviously, as it's going to sort of having a performance like this. So it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to getting back into training out here and sort of getting the hard yards done, and then yeah, hopefully having a few more good races this year. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, there's a heap of national pride, obviously, with what you've achieved as a Kiwi. So we're loving the result. Yeah. So a lot of buzz about that. Yeah. So congratulations, awesome. Man. It was a great result. Cool. All the best for the rest of the year. We hope to see you around.
Cool. Thanks so much.
Thanks, man.